Please take notice that action will be taken on the following items at the regular council meeting on Tuesday, October 11th, 2022, in the council chambers, Sparta Township Municipal Building, 65 Main Street, Sparta, New Jersey. Regular meeting begins at 7 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the public and the press on January 7th, 2022 by delivering to the press and posting on the township website of the notice. Can we have a roll call, please?
I'm here.
Deputy Mayor Hertzberg. Councilman Quinn.
Here.
Councilman Walsh.
Here.
Mayor Smith.
Here. And before we do the salute to the flag, I'd like to say that we have a moment of silence after the pledge for Michael Johnston. He was a 48-year-old gentleman with 3 children that are Pope John. He was a Pope John coach and athlete at Pope John. He was also a very longtime friend of our Deputy Mayor Hertzberg. The funeral was today, and that is why our Deputy Mayor is not with us this evening. So after the pledge, if we could have a moment of silence. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence, please. Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the August 23, 2022 regular meeting minutes as presented?
I move that they be approved as presented.
May I have a second?
I will second it.
All opposed? All in favor, actually?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion's carried.
I will abstain.
Okay, please let the record show that Molly had abstained. May I have a motion to approve the August 23rd, 2022 executive meeting minutes as presented?
So moved.
May I have a second?
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That would probably be also Molly abstends from that. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Spitaletto for the manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Good evening, those joining us here. I'm going to start off with a update from our Public Works in preparation for the new phase of fields at White Lake. Public Works has moved several piles of topsoil for various uses to the DPW complex. New asphalt berms have been installed on several of the most recently paved roads. This will improve storm runoff. The 2022 fall leaf bag collection program has been posted on our website. Pickup begins the week of October 31st. Bags are sold at the Sparta Library or our DPW on Price's Lane and local retail stores as well. In the upcoming weeks, Public Works will be paving a section of Edison Road in-house. This is to address several areas of degraded roadway that make snow removal challenging and hard on our equipment throughout the wintertime. The DPW is starting 2 new projects. The first will be paving the pathway between the 2 sand volleyball courts at Station Park and paving the path between the parking lot and pavilion at Station Park. And the second will be the installation of LED lighting at the parking lot adjacent to Freedom Turf Field. LEDs will illuminate 6 posts and will be replacing some existing poles as well. Just a report in regards to the last meeting that we had. We made contact with JCP&L and CenturyLink in regards to the overgrown trees that were on 181. We're also looking to address another area on Main Street that we're looking at similar issues. So we're following up on that as well. A report from our Parks and Recreation. Fall programs are well underway. Preparation for the Trunk or Treat and movie night, Hocus Pocus, are just about finished. This event takes place on October 28th at Station Park. We now have a wait list for people that would like to decorate their trunks. We are narrowing down a search for a senior program coordinator. I believe we will have somebody on board by November. The senior programs are ongoing in the senior center. We're continuing with the once-a-month craft and senior lunches and all the regular programs. Visit the Sparta Township website for an updated monthly calendar, please. The department is also preparing for our holiday events. This event date will be announced soon. Following the Sparta Recreation Facebook page or visit our page on the Township website as well for the upcoming winter events. The parks are being used heavily this fall, which is a great sign. We hope the weather cooperates so we can get some much-needed maintenance on the ball fields and grass all-purpose fields after the fall season ends. An update from our police department. Coffee with a Cop, our annual Coffee with a Cop, will be held tomorrow, Wednesday, October 12th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Sparta Library. Please join us and get to know the officers in our community. There will be a craft table for kids as well as refreshments and coffee sponsored by our local coffee place, Gloveberry. The Sparta Police Department has submitted a state grant request through our Attorney General's office to acquire more Alpars, which are known as automated license plate readers. In coordination with our grant writing company, Millennium Strategies, New Jersey is offering $10 million to combat auto theft, and the Sparta Police Department will certainly want to take advantage of any money and free funding out there. This technology will assist our proactive police department in capturing stolen cars, but also a lot more. Wanted persons, assisting in locating Amber Alerts or civil alerts, and a variety of other benefits as well. As you will see in the resolution this evening, it is a renewal contract with that company I just mentioned, Millennium Strategies, to continue to receive their assistance in locating the multitude of grants that have become available on all levels, from federal to state to county. I had previously mentioned in a prior report that Sparta had received more than $650,000 in grant money in 2021 and 2022. That Millennium Strategies helped us out greatly. A report from our Sparta Environmental Commission. The Sparta Environmental Commission is holding their first volunteer community cleanup on Sunday, October 16th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. with a rain date of October 23rd. This event is open to adults and will focus on litter cleanup along the grassy areas of Route 517 overpass and Route 15. For more information, if you'd like to volunteer, please email Dean Blumetti at environmental@spartanj.org. I would like to thank the EC Commission for helping keep our community clean. Notice on 2022 Breast Cancer Awareness Month. In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness, Town Hall employees can wear pink for breast cancer every Friday in October. In doing so, employees can donate in memory of Janice Stevens, a longtime and dedicated employee to Sparta Township who lost her battle with cancer just over a year ago. Any of the donation will go to Susan G. Komen to support a cure for this disease. Our Township Wellness Program will match all donations that are made in this effort. And just a reminder, on a Township event, the flu COVID vaccine clinic will be upcoming October 29th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Knoll Heights, 39 Trapasso Drive. Please check the Sussex County website to register for more information. That concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you. May I have a motion to accept the manager's report?
I move that we accept the manager's report.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
I'll make one
Opposed?
small correction, though. The Environmental Commission cleanup has been going on for several years.
Okay.
I think you said the first, but.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sure.
At this point, I'm going to open it to the public, and once again, I'm going to limit it to 1 hour. When you have something to say, please step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record, please. This is items not on the agenda. Anybody like to step up?
Tom Eisenberg, 128 Sussex Mills Road, Sparta, New Jersey. I'll say another salute to Michael Johnston. He lived across the street from me, directly across, and he's a wonderful man. I know we're not here for that, but since you mentioned him, he leaves a wife, Gretchen, 3 young children. There is a GoFundMe for him on Facebook. And he was a great guy, and he's a real Spartan. I mean, I moved here 10 years ago, but his family moved here 42 years ago. He was 48. He passed away suddenly, so he was 6 when he moved here. He was on the sports teams, et cetera, et cetera. The other thing I want to mention, just to shift gears a little bit, today I was actually at the repast for him that Deputy Mayor Hertzberg was there also. And so I drove around Wilson Drive, and I had been there before for the I Northeast eye place, and also the Premier Health on the corner for colonoscopy. I put that X in the notes. Anyway, but I drove around some of the side streets that, quite honestly, I didn't know even existed, and they're lovely. There's lovely businesses, and Bollinger. I can't remember all of them. There was the firefighter's office, and nice little offices. There's a storage place, and I thought it was lovely. And that's good businesses to attract to Sparta. That's Sparta, right? Still Sparta grounds there, not Lafayette. And there were some truck bays, maybe 7 or 8 here or there, but not 190. So I would hope those would be the sort of lovely businesses, productive, hiring employees that we could attract. And I know we can't talk particulars, but not behemoths that will cause potential problems for roads and pollution and the aquifer. So you've done a great job with those. I call them lovely little businesses, and I don't know exactly what they all do. But they're nice buildings and parking lots and seem to be productive. And I would hope that those are the sort of businesses we could attract to the industrial zone and not, we won't mention anything else. Thank you.
We like lovely.
Anyone else have anything to say? All right, I'm actually going to close this part of the meeting then. Councilwoman Quinn, would you please make a motion for the expenditures?
I have a question on the expenditures before we move to vote on them.
Absolutely.
Thank you. There are 2 different checks totaling about $90,000 to CP engineers that is accounted for under hospital, major medical, and prescription. Is that a misaccounting, or if not, why is that?
It's just a transfer of funds from those accounts, but the original title still appears on it. We moved around some fund from one to the other, and transferred funds from one account to the other.
You transferred funds from medical insurance to engineering?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Is that normal?
It's funds from last year's budget, so you can transfer those, to where you need the funding to pay. Because a lot of these bills were dated from the prior year that carried over.
Okay. Okay, thank you. No
Councilwoman-
other questions?
Councilwoman Quinn?
I move that we approve expenditures in the amount of $6,171,796.02, funds permitting.
May I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. We've got a couple ordinances to be introduced this evening. Roxanne, could you please read title of ordinance 22-12?
An ordinance repealing and replacing section 14-16 registration of properties and vacant property in foreclosure, fixing with registration and maintenance of vacant and abandoned property.
May I have a motion to introduce ordinance 22-12?
So moved?
May I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
May I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Chiarella.
Yes.
Councilwoman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilwoman Wassman. Yes. Mayor Smith.
Yes.
And I think it's worth an explanation that this is a reintroduction of the ordinance that we discussed at the last meeting that we made some material changes to, and thus requiring a reintroduction based on the material changes. Did I say that right?
You did.
Cool. Thank you.
And Roxanne, would you please read the title of ordinance 22-13?
Ordinance of the Township of Sparta, County of Suffolk, State of New Jersey, creating Chapter 26 of the Municipal Code of the Township of Sparta entitled Soil Fill Placement, and amending Chapter 26 of the Code of the Municipal Code of the Township of Sparta to include soil fill, civic fees, and escrow.
May I have a motion to introduce ordinance 22-13?
I move that we introduce 22-13.
May I have a second?
I will second it.
May I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Chiarella.
Yes.
Councilwoman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Wassman.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes. And Roxanne, would you please read the title of ordinance 22-14? Bless you.
Traffic of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Sparta, amending section 7-17, vehicles that are designated weight excluded from certain streets.
May I have a motion to, may I have a second?
Well, I will move that we introduce ordinance 22-14 as read.
Yes, I'm sorry. And may I have a second?
I'll second. Oh, okay.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Chiarella.
Yes.
Councilwoman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Wallace.
Yes.
Mayor Smith.
Yes. And would you please read the title of ordinance 22-15, please?
An ordinance of the Township of Sparta, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, amending chapter 11 of the municipal code of the Township of Sparta to include prohibition of feeding white-tailed deer on private property.
May I have a motion to introduce 22-15?
I move to introduce 22-15.
May I have a second?
I will second it.
Okay, Dan has it.
May I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Chiarella.
Yes.
Yes.
Councilman Wallace.
Yes.
Yes. We have no hearings of any ordinances this evening, so I'm going to open it back up to the public. Any comment on the resolutions 9-1 through 9-3?
Hi, good evening. Dean Blumetti, 15 Water's Edge. Two questions. The first one is on Resolution 9.1. I don't know much about Millennium Strategies, and it sounds like they're actually doing a good job. Just curious what the rationale is for the 5-year contract. It seems kind of lengthy.
This is a great contracting. We originally went with a grant writer a few years ago because we just didn't have the staff on hand to be able to do their day jobs and also go find us money. So they always find us way more dollars than it ever costs us for the contract. I think their services are in demand, and I mean, I'm happy to lock them in for that period of time.
I agree. It's a good contract looking at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't questioning them. I just was wondering 5 years seems like a long time. But if,
Lock 'em
I guess
in.
it's to lock them in. Was there
Lock 'em in.
Lock 'em
really
in.
happy with them? Okay.
Before they-
Dean, that's why I wanted to reiterate those numbers over the last couple of years and what they've acquired for us, thus far. And they are really responsive, and grant writing is very cumbersome and complex. There's a lot of rules to it, and they really know the insides and out.
Okay.
And basically, over the years, I've worked with a lot of different grant writing firms, probably most of them that are in the state. These guys rank probably among the top. I mean, there's some out there that say they're going to get you grants, but just don't follow through. And these guys have really done well by us.
Yeah, 'cause they have a pretty impressive staff. If I took a
Yes.
quick look at them.
Very
Yeah.
responsive. Deadlines are always met. Can't ask for any more than that.
Send us constant reminders, which is good. These deadlines are coming up because we're, so busy all the time. Like we need this and need this in this amount of time, so that's great.
Basically, they've got it down, so Neil, myself, Mayor, whoever, just have to sign on the dotted line, and, they've got the applications filled out, and it's a pleasure working with them.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is about 9.9-3, which is the resolution about the sale of real property that's coming up in auction. Where can we find Schedule A? Just curious to see where the lots are, just a little bit more about them, and that they weren't part of the online package. Is there someplace we can eventually take a look at that Schedule A that lists the properties that are going up for auction?
That should have been posted, correct? Yeah.
Is that on the dais or on the platform right there, Dean?
No, I don't see it. No, it's not here, and it wasn't online either.
Okay.
Yeah.
It-
Not urgent, just
It will be attached to it should be attached to the resolution, and it will be attached to the resolution as it's published, which should be within the next 24 hours.
Okay, great, thank you.
Is there any specific question about? I could tell that there are 6 lots in question.
It's actually the last page of the resolution
Okay, here it is on the printed out one, okay.
Do you see that?
I see it here.
Okay.
Yep, yeah, I don't think, this was not online, but this is helpful.
Correct.
Actually, no, this is the bills list. This is,
posted.
okay, this is the bills list for the expenditures. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions on any of the resolutions? May I have a motion to approve resolution, well, bring it back to the dais. Any questions up here?
I have none.
No.
Councilman? Nothing? May I have a motion to approve resolutions 9-1 through 9-3?
I move that we adopt resolutions 9-1 through 9-3.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. Any old business? We'll start with you, Councilman.
Do I have any old business? Not at this time.
Councilman Wildsmith? Councilman Quinn?
No old business.
And I have no old business. Okay, we'll use the same order for new business. Any new business?
Yes, one piece of new business. I did have a brief discussion with Acting Manager Spitaletto about this. The township, the township does participate in the New Jersey League of Municipalities conference that's held every year in the middle of November, and I think it would be a good idea. We're going to have at least one and maybe up to 3 new council members starting next year, and the event is very interesting. There's 3 days of seminars of all things, how to be a council person and all kinds of things you run into when you in this job, and I think it would be good for the new people that we're going to get, at least one, as many as 3, that would come in with hitting the ground running, and you get all juiced up, all ready to take on the budgets and the ordinances and stuff. So I think it would be.
What's the cutoff date for that, Kate?
All the information can be found on NJLM.
I'm sorry, wait, I'm sorry?
That I can pre-register everybody, by like November 4th, and you can register right up before the day.
Okay.
Which would be the 14th.
Is there any discussion on Dan's proposal?
Information on the league for anyone that's not a member of an elected official can be found on the NJLM website. It's a lot of information. There's a lot of really great stuff out there. You can see all the classes. Some of the things are also available online. So if you go out there and look at the website, you can see a whole host of everything that's provided by the State League, New Jersey League of Municipalities. God bless you.
And I think as Councilman Quinn said, anybody can go. And it's all days of seminars. You usually get 2 in the morning, 2 or 3 in the afternoon. There's the vendor booths, and if you're into this stuff, it's a lot of fun. And then afterwards, I'm like the first one in bed with a book, like 9 o'clock. But usually the parties go on until 2 or 3 in the morning. That's what I've heard anyway.
Is there any other discussion on this? How does everybody feel about it?
About what?
Yeah, of course.
If I'm understanding it, Dan is asking that we
Sponsor?
anybody that gets elected, even if they're not in office yet, to go to the conference.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think Kate's already on it. Like, she certainly would know. Like, I mean, we're a little ahead of ourselves, right? So she said there's availability, and I do think anybody new should go. Be great.
So it's the consensus of the council that the township manager should exercise that discretion in approving
Sure.
funding, as long as there are funds available.
Yes.
We're talking about after the election,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Not as candidates
No,
after the election.
yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other new business? Councilman Walsmith?
None.
Councilman Quinn?
I do. I have, unfortunately, sad new business. Today was also a funeral for Eskil Skip Danielson. He served as Byram Chief of Police for 22 years. He put in over 57 years of service as a volunteer first aid EMS provider and firefighter. He's well known throughout the entire county. He actually was the director for the Sussex County Division of Emergency Management. For 16 years, he served in that role. He was involved with coordinating efforts around 9/11 when that happened. He was, as I mentioned before, very, very well known throughout the Sussex County community. someone who really dedicated their entire life to serving others. And again, 57 years of serving communities in Sussex County in the area of emergency response. So I wanted to just mention that here this evening so that everyone was aware, and we obviously keep our neighbors in Byram in our prayers. This is a big loss for their community and for the county as a whole. So I wanted to bring that up.
Thank you. Any other new business?
From me. I was just going to bring up the fact that have been a large number of jobs posted on the Sussex County website. So if you go to the Sussex County website, there have been a bunch of positions that are posted there. Also, there are positions posted on the New Jersey State League of Municipalities website also. So those are municipal positions from one side of the state to the other. So if anyone knows of anyone that is in need of employment, please share with them the fact that they could go to NJLM, and they can also go to the county website. There's a bunch of new jobs that were posted there as well, if anyone knows of anyone in need. That's it for me.
Okay, the only thing I have is to reiterate what the manager had said. The flu clinics are starting up again. Next Wednesday, I believe, is the first flu clinic. They will also be offering the new booster for COVID. The flu clinic, I believe, needs a reservation, make appointments for that. The forms are online. If you fill out the forms online, it makes it go a lot quicker when you get there. Also, the schedule has been updated on the county website under the health department. COVID is back on the rise up here. The one variant is on the rise. We're running around 350 to 370 some people a week now. It's not terrible, but it's not going away either. So I just want to make everybody aware of that. Even though these clinics are in different towns, he mentioned the one that'll be here in Sparta. Anybody is able to go to any of the clinics. Just wanted to bring that forward. At this point, I'm going to open it back up to the public for 30 minutes for anything that they have on their mind.
Committee updates?
I have,
I had none, but I was on the agenda.
yeah, it's not on,
What's on the agenda?
unless I missed it.
Yeah, Council Liaison.
Oh, okay, it was on the bottom of one page, it skipped off. Are there any council liaison updates? There you go. Like I said, we're going to open it back up to the public for 30 minutes. If there's anything anybody has to say, please step up to the microphone. You have, state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. My name is Kathy Ebenkhausen, 25 Scudders Road. I have 2 points to make. First, a question. Mayor Dave, we saw each other at the soccer game over the weekend, and my first question is around the fields in White Lake, the project ongoing. I happen to notice that during the construction of those fields, we seem to have exposed some of the warehouses that are in that zone. And my question is around, is there any plan to hide those warehouses?
Yes, Jerry from our parks has, I believe he's already picked a lot of the trees that are going to be put back in there, that would be more friendly to fields as opposed to the trees that were there. So yes, there it will be centered.
Ed, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, there'll be new trees planted, so the trees will be back.
I think similar to the trees, correct, that are already running
That in the
along
center
down
island.
entrance?
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
So 15 years from now, they'll be covered up.
Well, I hope not. Is that truly
They'll
the
be
case?
mature.
Are these trees that mature much faster than that, I hope?
Well, the question bears, and certainly Kathy, that the reasoning for taking down the trees that were existing there were they were not healthy for the fields that we're putting in place. So they would have, eventually caused damage to the fields. So that's the reasoning why we're moving ahead and putting in new trees that are more conducive to surrounding those fields.
I'm glad to hear that.
Jerry wouldn't let us touch a tree unless we replace it, believe me.
And actually, the last time we did plant trees out at White Lake, they were mature trees that came in from the nursery. They actually came in on a tractor trailer so they could lay them down, but they were probably 20, 25-foot trees when they were planted.
Is that going to be the case in this project?
Yes.
Those are expensive.
Glad to hear it. Okay, so that was my first question, personal business. In other business, I would like to inform our town council of something. Last week, the character of Sparta Responsible Development was called into question as a member of the 2101 Ordinance Subcommittee, who will remain unnamed, accused our group of organizing people to go to people's homes and frighten their kids, quote unquote, based on a post by a member of our Facebook page, not our board, suggesting a peaceful protest in front of our town council members' homes. So I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but I wanted to bring it to here tonight, because tonight I stand here as a member of the SRD board with the purpose of clarifying our group's position in light of such troublesome and disparaging accusations. It is going too far to fearmonger in this way and suggest that SRD is organizing people to go to people's homes and frighten their kids and to, quote, rule by mob mentality. It is simply not true and utterly ridiculous to have suggested this as this individual has. In response to this disparaging remark, our statement was in part as follows. We appreciate you keeping the warehouse discussion front and center, as it is important to our community. I'd like to make sure that it is known that the one comment you're calling out is not a position taken by SRD and was made by a member of the Facebook group itself. Sparta Responsible Development supports the right to reasonably protest and recognizes the appropriate forums to do so, specifically when town council members are acting in their official capacity. As we know, protests have occurred in high volume by concerned citizens both at the planning board and town council meetings thus far over the last 8 months regarding this high-stakes topic. Additionally, and to be clear, SRD does not and never has encouraged or supported protests outside of the town council members' homes, peacefully or otherwise, and certainly does not plan on organizing them. And to suggest otherwise has gone a step too far. Let the record reflect that SRD has instead encouraged all to attend town council and planning board hearings to have their voices heard. We condemn this accusation to disparage, fearmonger, and demonize SRD and hope that our council, as well as our board members, also recognize this as well.
Kathy, I thank you for that statement. I really
Thank
do.
you.
Especially since we've crossed paths five or six times in the last week
We sure have.
on a friendly basis.
So I stand here tonight as an SRD board member, and I want to make sure that the town council and others know that this is
We
not
do
our position.
appreciate it. It is appreciated.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes.
I just have a quick question. For the, wait,
Name,
oh,
please. Name and
sorry, Beth Broderick, 18 North Shore. For the ordinance for the weight restriction, where did the 8 tons come from?
It came from our engineer.
Okay, it just seemed kind of like a random,
No, it actually isn't. It restricts certain size vehicles.
okay, so I'll look up what it covers. So it'll be like,
If you have a few minutes afterwards, since it's for not on the agenda, you can, Ed, would you mind speaking with Beth after the meeting?
that would be perfect. I'm just trying to, I don't know,
So Beth, Ed,
Beth.
thanks.
do you want to wait after he
If you could
gets
stay a
signed
few
up?
minutes after the meeting, I'll let him explain it to you. Because Ed is the one that came up with the number.
Promise I'll behave. I won't be mean.
No, I know.
Tom Eisenberg again, 128 Sussex Mills Road, Sparta, New Jersey. Just to harken back on that area near Wilson Drive, there were 1 or 2 schools, little schools. It was quite lovely. Again, that Facebook exchange that Kathy referred to, there was one Facebook member, I don't know if he wasn't on the SRD board or anything, who's saying that you got to get active, et cetera, protesting, and even go to people's homes, which I thought personally was out of line. but it was one comment on Facebook. But then the person Kathy was referring to on the planning subcommittee started attacking, and it got pretty, what's the word, at home, and pretty bad. He started saying that certain members of the SRD were, he's an EMS, and he carted them off for their mental patients, and you might talk to this guy, that he got too far. I mean, Facebook's crazy to begin with. He got too far. The reason I'm standing up again, though, seriously, is there's elections coming up, and Board of Ed, I don't have children, so I'm going to abstain from that, even though I pay my taxes for the schooling of the kids. And by the way, Commissioner Quinn, we mentioned the littering a while back, and I think you said that it's not just the kids, it's adults, but the kids grow up to be adults, and we should teach them not to litter, as I was taught. But most important, the elections are coming up. We have 4 town council nominees here tonight. For the Board of Ed, I think there is some sort of public forum. Again, I'm not involved in that. A little bit interested, but not knowledgeable at all. But for the town council, and democracy is great, how can we educate the general public about the candidates? May we have a debate or a forum where the candidates get up and make statements, just something public to educate the populace?
I think you can go on Facebook and see all that. I'm joking, sorry.
Well, it is on Facebook, but, for presidential races, there's 16 debates.
Don't go on Facebook, please, don't go on Facebook.
Well, I believe you're having a meet and
Okay,
greet tomorrow evening, aren't you?
But it'd be nice for the town, I don't know how it would be done.
We've been advertising meet and greets.
Sorry?
We have been advertising meet and greets, so you could talk to the individuals at any length you'd like. And I believe there's another one tomorrow evening.
There was one a couple of days ago, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where's the advertisement? I read the Independent pretty regularly, Sparta Independent.
You'll be having another one.
Yeah.
No, meet and greet is great, but
We'll call-
where's it advertised? I haven't.
As the council is concerned, or as the township is concerned, the township wouldn't sponsor such an event, right? Those are usually held by nonprofit groups or media groups. Things like the League of Women Voters are usually active in sponsoring events like that. But the council, we do council business. The council itself would not endorse or host such an event.
Really? Not for Sparta on
It's up to
behalf
the
of
individuals.
It's illegal?
No, it's
That's
up to
not
the
illegal.
individuals.
It's up to the
We wouldn't spend
individuals.
It's up to
taxpayer
the-
dollars to do this.
Fucking, I
We wouldn't
apologize,
spend
but
taxpayer
I know you would
dollars
enforce that. Sorry, yes?
We wouldn't spend taxpayer dollars creating a campaign event or a debate. That's not something that taxpayers probably would pay for. But that's probably a private or a nonprofit group would probably do.
Anyone else? May I have a motion to adjourn, if there's nothing else?
So moved?
Second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone, for coming.